This is day one of me learning Dutch while recording the whole journey, the process. I want to say right now my CEFR score in Duolingo for Dutch is 8. So I've been learning this for 14 days, I think. And I'm gonna continue it now. But this time what's changed is I'm recording them. Today, right now, I'm gonna study and I will keep taking shots every single day and I wanna capture the whole transformation, the journey. Good luck, keep learning. I will learn Dutch, and this video is the proof that I can commit to something. And when I do, it's real. Bye. Day 2 of learning Dutch. Hoi, hoe gaat het? Ik ben de Nederlandse taal aan het leren. En dit taal is lekker. You get the point. I'm still learning to connect words, how to get the sentences and connect them together and form it. So it's not quite easy yet, but I'm getting it. I have some specific advantage, however, and that is because I know how to speak, read and write a little bit of German. Ich bin lernen Deutsch mit Duolingo a long time ago, so let's not talk about it. But when I see Dutch, the moment I see the structure, to me it feels like I'm seeing something Germanish type. Also, because I know English, which in a fun part, I've heard that the Dutch don't even consider English as a language. However, anyway, out of that, because I know English and I'm a native speaker, it feels easier because you have so many English words, the similarities, and also I have another advantage, which is knowing French. Because I have a CEFR score of 33 on French, so I can see a lot of words from French. And in fact, I've heard Flemish Dutch has much more French words than the Netherlands Dutch. By the way, fun fact is the Netherlands, or in Dutch we call the Netherlands. Nederland. So Nederland means lowlands, land for land, and neder means low. So it literally means lowlands. Anyway, the learning is fun, entertaining. I'm getting it. This is day 2. And I'm excited to see what happens when I reach day 7. Duolingo and Airlearn is my guide. See you on day 3. Good luck. Goed. Veel succes. En wel te rusten. Day 4 of learning Dutch while recording the journey. Ik ben heel blij omdat ik ben study goed. Today I learned a very interesting thing in Dutch. how to form plurals. There's a cheat sheet I found. I found a pattern, a shortcut, should I say. The shortcut is very simple. For any word in Dutch that's ending, just use the word en at the end. So if it's de hond, which means the dog, en means the honden, the dogs. The book, the boeken, it works mostly like this, and when it doesn't, you understand it. The word is very similar. Interesting in it. And I'm also leveling up and learning quite some other things. Excited to see more on what happens on day 7. Wel te rusten. Day 5 of learning Dutch while recording the journey. Today was a very amazing day because I reached a score of 10 in Duolingo. By the way, if you want to follow me, it's at HAN9924. So now I'm getting into basic conversations and I think this is the start of like the end of the very basic words and moving on to the advanced ones, although it's an equivalent of just A1 CEFR score. And for for Dutch, it is more interesting because I learned how to say months. It is quite interesting because I see the similarities with French. In French, you don't capitalize the months. The same thing for Dutch, which is very interesting to me. But again, I think they do share borders, no? That makes sense. Dutch is the perfect language to learn if you want to get a taste of English, German, and French all at the same time. Like Dutch has a mix of all these influences. See you later. Today was a very interesting day as I learned the names of months in Dutch. It was interesting to see most of them are quite similar and understandable in English. For example, January is known as Januari. So here's the thing I noticed, one more pattern, and that is for every J in English, the sound becomes more like Y. So January becomes Januari, and June becomes Juni, and July becomes July. For August, it totally blew me up because the name looked like Latin. Guess what? August. For August, Augustus. If I say in pure Roman, it's Augustus. And for most of the part, the months are quite understandable. Like even if you don't speak Dutch, you hear them and you'll be like, oh, so this sounds like the English equivalent of that month. Interesting. Let's see what's more ahead. This is only day 6. Day 7 of learning Dutch while recording the journey. Today, I realized I did some mistakes. The mistake of assuming I know more and I can remember more and not writing down things I should have written. Overconfidence while learning a language is destructive. I assumed I knew the plurals. I would remember the plurals. I didn't. I consider it a natural thing because I didn't write them down because I thought, oh, I know the words, so what's wrong with plural? And I forgot. Don't do that. If you are with me on this journey, be sure to write down everything. And when once you forget something, just write it down again. You see, writing reinforces deeply into your brain. It's important. Now, one more thing I do feel, which is loneliness. Not in this sense, I mean it in the context of learning. Like, I'm learning this, that's true. But what if there were somebody else learning at the same time? You see, when you do something alone, you go on a slower speed compared to when someone else or many people are doing the same thing at the same time. Like, let's say I want to speak or try to speak Dutch with someone. Can I? That's the limitation. So it's best if I can find a partner to learn Dutch with. A committed partner that seriously learns every single day. Great, innit? Today is day 7. I'm out.